So if you've ever been to a city, chances are you've at the very least walked by a homeless person. Um, I've had many experiences of interacting with homeless people, and I tend to lean towards having conversations with them. Um, Hell, if you are feeling if you're feeling like you need to have a conversation and you don't know who to talk to, you don't have someone to talk to, and you live in a city, well, chances are a homeless person is going to be willing to talk to you. Um, a lot of them are, well, don't have don't have much socialized. Need people to talk to. And they're actually, you may be surprised, can be good conversationalists. Now, I know some of you out there might be stigmatized, it might be testy even bringing up the idea of homeless people, because that's kind of how socially a lot of our society interacts with them. And if you want to talk about that or leave a comment below, go ahead. I'm interested in hearing it because I don't relate. I care for these people. I don't think that there's always something I can do for them. In fact, throwing a few quarters rarely does help. Sometimes I don't even have money on me. Sometimes I don't want to give money, and I feel completely comfortable telling them, no, I'm not going to give you any money. At the very least, I'll oftentimes have a conversation with them. And they really can have great conversations, talk about government, the police, universal basic income, the society as a whole, your daily lives, normals, whole talk, social interactions, all sorts of things. You can have a conversation with them. Now, if you haven't talked to a homeless person, you just had to go out there, I will say one thing you're likely to run into is talk of things like time travel or the Illuminati, or I talked to an angel, I talked to a demon today, the demon told me to go up the mountain, that kind of thing. And that goes to another social stigma we have in our society, and that's mental illness. In layman's terms, crazy people. Which a lot of homeless people just happen to be fall in that category. In some cases, that's why, or at least a big factor in why they are homeless. The other thing you'll find, before I even move past that, I think it's important to say that that's not something necessarily to be afraid of in and of itself. Someone who's talking about something that's not there, from my own perspective, I see it as a way to cope with reality by disassociating with it. Now, I'm not an expert, I'm not a scientist, and a lot of this stuff, if you really get into it, probably just jumps into the chicken or the egg territory, which is it brain chemistry or the way people think, which one comes first, and there's probably a hell of a lot more about the subject that I don't even know and I'm not even addressing right now. So if you're seriously interested in knowing more about that, I suggest you do some more research yourself. But nonetheless, it's very clear that these people aren't out to flat out kill you or whatever because they're, not fully with reality. Violence is not Violence is not a guarantee with insanity, if you will. But anyways, another thing you'll often find if you're having a conversation with homeless people is faith. All you Christians will probably love it out there, but it's very, very often the Christians who are the people feeding the homeless, and oftentimes giving them Bibles and pamphlets as well, sometimes not even feeding them, just giving them pamphlets, in which case I'm like, okay, so finding God is more important than finding food? Not my first thought, but okay. Nonetheless, faith can be a very beneficial thing to the homeless people, whether it's to God or to anything that you can be faithful in. The way, Buddha, Muhammad, whatever. Doesn't matter. Faith can be valuable to homeless people. And oftentimes you'll find great, strong, powerful faith, maybe even more so than most of the normal church-going folk, in some sort of higher power, some sort of better life. It's sometimes very enlivening to talk to homeless people. Now, other homeless people, you will find those who complain or those who just want money, don't even want to talk to you, that kind of thing. There's diversity in every community. But nonetheless, when I feel like most of them, or at least most of them I've talked to, tend to be good people. And that is an important fact that I don't think a lot of people realize or even know or take the time to consider. Nonetheless, just something important to think about. The homeless community. They're there. Don't forget about them. I love them.